would go on a pilgrimage to this chapel?